we have a comic at home that my mother cut out for me a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You know which one I'm talking about?
I do.
Is it Greach? Is that what it is?
I don't even remember.
Anyway, it's a comic from the 90's. That's more than 25 years old. I need to find a modern version because it's faded with time because it's on newsprint. And it's been on the Sun. So basically, it's a Sunday comic strip with multiple panels. It's a large comic.
Hang on. You mean this one, Minku?
It's not a rant. It's story time.
Oh, I'll have to do that with story time.
In the first panel, the guy comes up to the counter with a computer and says, "Sir, I'd like to return this computer." And the guy's standing there, and there's a sign that says something computer shop behind him. And he goes, what's wrong? Is it broken? No, I just bought this computer, and it's already obsolete. And those of you who lived in the 90's know about that. And the guy behind the counter says, "Sir, you can't return a computer just because it's obsolete. Computers are constantly being improved and upgraded, which is why we are forced to place a limit on the amount of time in which you can return a computer for a refund." And the guy goes, "What's the limit?" And the computer guy goes, "About 30 minutes. But in the 90's, it wasn't quite 30 minutes.
29, 31.
It felt like that at times. Your computer would be 18 months old and be hot, stinking garbage real fast. One of our guys on Discord this morning said that in 1990, his family bought a 286 because a year before we got our 386. 386s in 1990 were really expensive. In 91, the prices dropped a bit, but I mean, they were $1,000, $1,500, $4,000 or $5,000 in 1990. And so they bought a 286, either a 12 or a 16, he didn't remember. And 9 months after buying it, Wing Commander 2, Wrath of the Korathi came out.
It did.
And he said, we had to upgrade because it just was a slideshow. And I replied to him and I said, wow, that must have been garbage. Because I played Wing Commander 2 on a 386 DX25, and I thought it was pretty bad. Because I then played it on my friend's 33 megahertz 386 and was like, holy crap, that's an improvement. A 286? Is that even functional? That would be horrible. You know, and I spent all those thousands of dollars. My grandfather spent all that money on the 386. The next year, 92... Well, Falcon 3.0 barely ran on it. Strike Commander barely ran on it. I mean, I can think of a bunch of games I played. X-Wing came out in 93 and ran like garbage on it. That's where we get the 46. See, 2 years later, we spent $4,000+ on the 46 because, honestly, 18 months after buying the 386, after spending nearly $3,000 on the 386 in 91... 18 months later, at the beginning of 93, it was crap.
Wow.
And then in the summer of 93, we spent over $4,000 on a 46 DX266. And 2 years later, in the summer in August of 95, Windows 95 came out. You try running Windows 95 on a 46 DX266. It's a joke. It will run. No. You know what else came out? Quake. Everybody try running Quake on a 46?
Quake, I've heard
garbage. That needs a Pentium.
Pentium commercials.
So I had to buy a Pentium. And in 95, I got a P100. 1 year later in 96, 1 freaking year, I had to upgrade that to a Pentium 166 because the 100 didn't even last a year.
Was there anything better to buy, though?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. This all was so... That's why I look at the prices today. And I mean, I understand not everybody had a computer in the 90's. Not everybody had the money. People compromised. People had whatever. But look...
You can understand why people didn't have computers back then because they were damn expensive.
I do. But I look at the prices today and it all looks cheap as chips to me. I mean, I just look at this stuff today and go, what are you talking about? The i9 with 10 cores is $400. Shut the fire truck up. I mean, that's cheap. Go buy one.
Yeah.
Well, can't I buy an i5? You can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
But whatever. Let me put it this way. I didn't do a whole machine in 96. I just bought the motherboard and CPU. I upgraded my machine in place. A Pentium 166 and the motherboard.
Yeah.
No RAM, no storage, nothing. In the spring of 96
Spring of 96.
was $1,000. That's what they cost.
We had a computer. Just trying to remember what it was. I remember the monitor.
And keep in mind, and I do think this is something that people also forget with time, 1996, $1,000. That's over $1,600 today. And so when you tell me that the top of the line i9 10850K is $400, I just go, okay, what's your point? Go get one.
Yes.
Well, but I could save $100 by getting the 8-core chip. Why? You're not saving anything. You just upgrade sooner. It's so cheap. And of course, whenever I say that, somebody inevitably comes in and goes, well, you don't understand. Some of us don't have a lot of money. Well, I do understand that, and that's fine. I'm going to go a little bit Dave Ramsey here and say that if the difference between $300 and $400 is breaking your life, if an 8-core chip for $300 in your mind is affordable and a 10-core $400 chip is not, you have a money problem. You have an income problem. You don't have a spending problem. That is not a spending problem. Because those are just chips. You got to put a computer around it. If that $100 kills you, if you go, well, I got to get the i7 because I don't have another $100.
Go get another $100.
Go get another $100.
Turn your game off and go earn some money.